So let's clear up all the, what I'll call the red herrings, and let's go. So Isaiah, I asked you a question. You made, this is a preface to my question. You said you went to Israel and gave an example of where, Israel as a nation can be used as a she. Yeah, my country, Nigeria, we could say in our pledge, we have a her. The argument was not about Israel. It was specifically about God. I made an argument that when singular personal pronouns are used with reference to God, particularly to God, the reference is always a single person. Isaiah, can you find me one place without conjecture where God speaks of himself as I, me, or somebody's referring to God as him or I, where the reference is not a single person but multiple persons? Do you have one explicit text that shows a multiplicity when singular personal pronouns are used with reference to God?
Yeah, the argument that I was giving, the counter argument was saying that singular personal pronoun does not entail it's only one person. I'm saying you can't eliminate it from that. You use that as an argument to defend God is only one person. I'm saying that's logically
Could you answer my question, please?
That wasn't answering your question.
No, I said, could you find? So that's, is it that yes or no? If you can.
Yeah, it was a loaded question. I'm rejecting the premise of that question.
No,
I rejected the premise of that question.
Let me tell you why it's not
assume things I don't agree with.
Okay, guys. All right.
Is there any place in the Bible where God refers to himself as I, me, with singular personal pronouns? Because this is my claim. This is my charge against you. Or anybody's referring to God as him or I, where the referent is ever any other person but a single person, where it's ever multiple persons. Do you have a text in scripture?
Yeah, I would argue where we see God speaking. So my argument is there is no specific place, and I haven't said this in my first rebuttal. Are you going to pout or are you going to hear an answer?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So let's try this. Let's try this again. So my argument was that in the Old Testament, when you see God speaking, like when it says "I alone did this," I said that very well could be multiple persons speaking. There's nothing that eliminates it. That was the point of it. If you're asking, is there any place where he refers to himself as a singular? Yes, it does. I say those texts are a Trinity speaking, and you can't get around it because singular personal pronoun doesn't tell us how many persons are speaking. It's just saying that one being is speaking. That's all that's being said there.
If we could see that singular personal pronouns without exception always refer to a single person, then on what basis, without imposing your Trinitarian conjecture into the text, that when God says I or him, that it could refer to multiple persons, apart from imposing your own Trinitarian conjecture on that on the text?
Identification of multiple persons as being ontologically the true God in the Bible. One such example, if you want an example of multiplicity within this, even in Proverbs chapter 30, verse 3, it says, I have not learned wisdom, nor have I knowledge of the Kadoshim, which would be plural. So that's a reference to God as a plural, the holy ones